Imagine floating 400 kilometers above Earth, surrounded by the vacuum of space, and suddenly your helmet starts filling with water. This is the true story of astronaut Luca Parmitano, who came terrifyingly close to becoming the first person to almost drown in space. Astronaut Luca Parmitano and Chris Cassidy stepped outside the International Space Station for a planned routine spacewalk. Their job was to install cables and perform maintenance outside the station. Everything was going according to plan, but then Luca felt something strange, a small amount of water at the back of his head. At first, everyone thought it might be sweat, or maybe a leaking drink bag inside the suit, but the water kept increasing. Soon it was flowing across the back of his helmet. Mission Control realized something was wrong and ordered the spacewalk to end early. As Luca headed back toward the airlock, the situation rapidly became dangerous. In microgravity, water doesn't fall, it sticks. The water formed a giant floating blob inside his helmet. It covered his ears, eyes, and nose. Luca began losing his ability to see and hear. At one point, water nearly reached his mouth. There was roughly 1 to 1.5 liters of water trapped inside the helmet, and then something even worse happened. The sun set. Suddenly, he was in orbital darkness, nearly blind, unable to communicate properly, and was alone outside the station. Luca still had to find his way back. Using touch and memory, he carefully followed safety lines toward the airlock. One mistake could have been fatal. Inside his helmet, the water continued moving around his face. Every breath became more stressful, yet he stayed calm. Slowly, he made his way back to safety. After entering the airlock, the crew rushed to remove his helmet. The moment it came off, water poured out. NASA later classified the incident as a high-visibility close call, one of the most serious spaceflight accidents that did not result in a fatality. Many experts consider it one of the closest calls in the history of spacewalking. The investigation revealed that debris had clogged part of the suit's cooling system. That blockage allowed water from the cooling loop to leak into the helmet ventilation system. The water wasn't coming from a drink bag at all, it was coming from the spacesuit itself. NASA eventually redesigned procedures and implemented safety changes to prevent a similar incident from happening again. Thanks to Luca Parmitano's training, calm thinking, and a bit of luck, he survived one of the most terrifying emergencies ever faced by an astronaut.